Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Clacton Airshow 2025. I'm Luke from Aeroview TV, and we are delighted to be here for the first time. It's our first visit to Essex, actually, for any airshow, so we're very excited to be here, and we've got a fantastic lineup today. Highlights include the Sabre, we've got two Mustangs, and of course, the Royal Air Force Aerobatic team, the Red Arrows. You may be wondering why I'm talking and why you've not got somebody like George Bacon or Samantha Williams talking, and the reason is we don't have permission to stream the official airshow commentary at this particular show except for the Red Arrows display. So you're going to have a very clean audio feed of engine noise and just the atmospheric noise, which some of you may like, some of you may not. But it's a bit different. We normally have the official commentary feed, but today we don't. But we do have it for the Red Arrows, so we will still be getting some of the official feed, and you'll have the excitement of Red 10 coming through the commentary later on today. So, having a little look at what's going to be starting today, we've got a good lineup, and what we'll be doing is we'll be keeping you updated with our coming up kind of schedule graphics, so you'll be able to see what's coming up. Yeah, so make sure to keep your eyes out on the stream, and I will talk to you all again soon.
Bob's second year with the shooting display is operating at a base height of 300 feet, except for the two final passes at just 100 feet over the sea. The next two manoeuvres are a wing over and then the bubble front roll, which Bob can use to gain energy for the next part of his sequence. Displaying the shooter requires careful energy management due to its low power-to-weight ratio, just 170 horsepower for half that. When not displaying, Bob is a qualified flying instructor on QFI on 115 Squadron based at RAF Bridge, where he trains frontline pilots into fellow shooter QFIs. During his very varied career, Bob has amassed over 8,000 flying hours in over 15 different aircraft types. This represents almost a whole year in the air. After this half Cuban, Bob will enter a 4-point roll. It is a great camera opportunity. Bob delicately uses the rudder to support the nose above the horizon while flying at 90-degree angles of bank. The shooter manufactured by the German Luftwaffe primarily makes gliders, and the shooter is built like a glider. It's so light, which is why its underpowered engine can still pull around the sky. Next, another wing over, a combined pitching and rolling manoeuvre used to turn the flight path through 180 degrees. You'll notice that each wing over is slightly different, as Bob carefully selects his flight path to cater for differing wind conditions and aircraft energy states. Bob now rolls 90 degrees or pointing straight up before completing the stall turn at almost zero airspeed. 290 degree turns are continued in the same direction. The Bob shooter is operated by No. 6 Flying Training School in partnership with Babcock International and primarily flies university airfield students from the RAF Air Cadets. There are 13 air-experienced flight instructors in the UK, with over flights up to 20,000 cadets each year. This could be you if you're between 13 and 20 years old. On that last stall turn, this one is running conventionally, and after the stall turn, Bob will enter a slow roll. Up to 50 selected air cadets each year are now also being taught to fly the shooter up to solo standard, flying it on their own. During that roll, you may have noticed the Royal Air Force Benevolent Blue Heart on the belly of his aircraft, BT-322, to celebrate this fantastic charity. The Benevolent Fund supports Royal Air Force personnel, air cadets and veterans wherever they are in need. We're so proud to raise awareness for charity that gives so much to the whole of the RAF family. Visit our tent, website, or view our shooting display videos to access a QR code to donate to the fund. For those of you going to university, there are 15 university air stations across the UK. On the squadron, students are taught to fly the shooter by highly experienced military flying instructors, like Bob. And it is worth mentioning that the UAS syllabus is A, free, B, it's level 1, and C, includes solo aerobatics. We're now in the high energy section of the display with a derry turn, port boiler, and soon the loop, all quintessential aerobatic manoeuvres. As he pulls up, Bob is objective at 5G yet again. He aims to pitch the aircraft around an imaginary circle in the sky. Today, the Royal Air Force is recruiting for multiple rewarding and demanding professions, and has an exciting future with the continued development of combat, utility and maritime patrol aircraft, as well as UK Space Command. Bob is now descending down to just 100 feet over the sea for a low-level pass. We've just recently had the introduction of our newest aircraft, E7 Wedgetail, the Royal International Aircraft Crew, and we are also now increasing our remote mobility capabilities with the Zoe Protector. The high tempo of operations continues today, with aircraft and personnel team. I'd like to take this moment to say a big thank you to our supporters this season. They are the Royal Air Force Benevolent Fund, Babcock International and Runway 25, who provided much of the merchandise we're giving out from our stand this season. If you manage to get some good photos of the tutor, make sure to tag our social medias. We'd be happy to repost them, with your permission of course. Bob's now bringing the tutor around for his departing wave. It's a final great photo opportunity, and yes, you will be able to see me waving. A big thank you to Clacton Airshow for hosting us this year. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the 2025 Royal Air Force Tutor. Oh, it's so good to have your company as the sun bursts. enjoy this display. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's hear it for the Mustang and the Thunderbolt. A wonderful war of engines there from the Warbirds, from the ultimate fighters from Duxford. Flying for us today, we have in the P51 Mustang, we have Ben Fox, and in the P57 Thunderbolt, we have Mark Levy. The P51 Mustang was designed to meet an RF requirement for fighter bomber and reconnaissance aircraft. The Mustang was first flown in October 1940. This versatile aircraft is capable of escorting bombers on long-range missions, engaging in dogfights and dropping down to destroy German targets on the ground. At least 8 versions of the P51 were produced, but it was this definitive P51D that gave the Mustang its classic bluebird appearance. Both in Britain and the US, they tested the airframe with the Rolls-Royce Merlin engine. It's broadcasters here on the seafront just now, and that gave the aircraft its tremendous performance gains. The Truman Senate War Investigating Committee called the Mustang the most aerodynamically perfect pursuit plane in existence. So the P51D Mustang flying through this afternoon is Jersey Jer. She's built in Melbourne, Australia in 1947 and delivered in 1948. She sadly spent most of her life in RAF storage and was sold for scrap in 1957. Decades later, she appeared at Fort Lauderdale in Florida and was shipped to Australia. Then in the mid-1990s, she was re-registered and airworthy, and then broke the 24th of January 2002 from her home base at Caboolture in Australia. She was configured with dual controls and a passenger seat. She operated for 2 decades in Australia and then was sold in 2020 to the Ultimate Warbirds, who operate from Sywell Aerodrome in the UK in their Clactonshire. They repainted her in the stunning colours of Jersey Jer and the personal mount of Major Donald Strait of the 361st Fighter Squadron, 356th Fighter Group. During World War II, Major Donald Strait was assigned to the 361st Fighter Squadron and the 8th US Air Force, and during his 2 combat tours, he flew 122 missions, scoring 30 victories, making him the 356th Fighter Group's top ace. Summing half of those victories was scored in the P51 Mustang, and by late 1944, he became the commanding officer of the 361st Squadron, and then after World War II, he joined the New Jersey Air National Guard and became Squadron Commander and Wing Commander, hence the name of the aircraft, the Jersey Jer. And as we said, Sam, before we welcome back the Thunderbolt, this aircraft is flying in memory of Little City. Now, a man who saw that fighter plane crash off the Essex coast during World War II says it's beautiful that an aircraft of the same type will fly at this year's Clacton Airshow. This year display marks 80 years since that Mustang, known as Little Zippy, went into the sea just near to where we are standing on the seafront. Albert Scott remembers watching the commotion at the time and says seeing Mustangs fly reminds people of how valuable they were. Well, at the time, during the Second World War, when tanks met orders, he worked his talking to John in 1945, and we went down to the pier, and then a people come in to our left-hand side. Aircraft are flying around, so we put a little sail up. You see what happened? You saw the lifeboat from Clacton Pier run out, it stopped. And something happened there, and apparently the rescue helicopter and it was in about an hour on the beach opposite Aerobatic. We understand that he'd been there to a place called Rems in Germany that was a non-Martian in 1920s. He was one of the pilots that was on a mission with 700 pilots, escorting 1,000 American Marines. And he got towards his home, and his companion, Rosie, was leaving him along the way and was misfiring. So the commander of the group, of the Clacton Airfield, called that Rosie King, the pilot with his aircraft, he phoned up and escorted his family back to his base with a refuge. On the way back, in terrible weather, it was freezing cold, there was ice on the ground. He dipped into the sea for some unknown reason. It must have been a concealed engine, something happened. I saw it, perhaps a few minutes after it dipped into the sea, and when it hit the water, it flipped over. And the wreck you do see was upside down, about 20 feet from the surface, and it was upside down in mud. And our divers got it out in 1987. I still remember it so vividly. Lots of people said, they surely, you forget about those things. But at my age, 93, this is 80 years ago, and the memory is still there.
What a wonderful memory from Albert Scott, and I can tell you that you can still see what's left of that little zippy Mustang aircraft at the East Essex Aviation Museum in Point Pier, just around the coast in St Osyth. And here's an extract from the words which accompany their display. Flight Officer Raymond King, based at Watersham, Suffolk, experienced engine failure and ditched his aircraft just 800 yards from the seafront in Clacton. Although rescued by the crew of the Clacton lifeboat, he never survived the tragedy. In a bitterly cold sea, he tragically died in late October. His body was laid to rest at the American Military Cemetery in Madingley, and after the end of hostilities was returned to the United States of America. So how wonderful that this aircraft, the P-51 Mustang that we have with us today, in tribute to little Zippy, ditched sitting in front of us 80 years ago this year. And as we thank the Mustang for being here for that special tribute, I've got to say hi to Nellie. Nellie's a graceful girl, isn't she, Sam Williams?
Graceful, but oh so mighty. So this is the Republic P-47D Thunderbolt, nicknamed Nellie, registration G-Thun, as in Thunderbolt. Named after employee by Mark Levy. The Thunderbolt was the largest and heaviest single-seater piston-engine fighter in history. It weighs an amazing 7 tons and is heavier than even a Bristol Blenheim. It's the most numerous American fighter ever produced. P-47 was hugely successful at high-altitude escort and formidable ground attack aircraft. Over 15,000 Thunderbolts were produced and used in World War II, and they saw service in every theatre of operations except for Alaska. By the end of 1944, she'd equipped 31 US Air Force bases and served with many other Allied forces, including the RAF, which has 830 of these machines.
Wonderful markings, those black and white stripes under the wing that we've got, a good old glimpse of Nellie as she banked round, going from our right to left, so heading towards Clacton Pier with her undercarriage showing to the crowd. She's now banked up over towards towards the Dunfleet Sands wind farm operated by Orsted, and it's appropriate because they have sponsored this display. Orsted at the Dunfleet Sands wind farm sponsoring this display of many and jersey work. I can't believe she's 80 years old this year.
She's doing good for 80 years. And as the Thunderbolt flies centre power now, just pulling up from the young belly and feeling that she does a gentle aerial roll towards the end of the beach. Get your cameras ready as she'll be coming back for last pass in just a moment. The P-47 could take almost as much damage as she could hand out, actually, and she quickly established a reputation for allowing pilots to walk away from all but the most horrendous actions by causing extraordinary amounts of battle damage. She was phased out of American service soon after the war and was dropped from US inventory in 1953. But she was then absorbed by some of the lesser air forces and saw combat service in the Colonial Revolutionary Guard in 1953. She's a mighty aircraft, and we were lucky to see many of the P-47s over in England during World War II. Those who do honour
aircraft, these ones, a real favourite for aerobatics as they come swooping down now. This is a great chance to get a photo as the sun just blinks on the top of their white wings. They're flying in formation right in front of us. Come on, if you're in Clacton, let's get a big wave.
the Firebird flown by John Roll and Nigel Reed this afternoon. They're flying centre of the crowd run high above the beach at the moment. They'll be flying in formation routine with smoke clearing to get plenty of good photographs and give you a good demonstration of formation flying and aerobatic. The Firebirds are a regular contender here at Clacton Airshow, and the pilots absolutely love flying from here because they can base the Clacton Aerobatic just at the end of the beach, and they can take off and land running for their display in just minutes. there we go. So Nigel is flying on a straight line and John is looping around the smoke trail in an ever such graceful manoeuvre there. Now the aerobatic manoeuvres that you see at air shows are actually, the history of them is derived from fighter pilots as far back as World War I, where pilots needed to find very clever ways of changing direction quickly and evading their enemies, and hence aerobatics was created. It was then developed in the 40s, 50s and 60s when aerobatic competitions became commonplace, and the RV4 is a very popular aircraft for aerobatic competitions and air shows today.
Oh, I love that. They're just peeling off, one going down, one going up, big curves, the smoke is trailing. So marking their routes in the sky like a great big felt tip pen. Going at quite a speed, 212 miles an hour is the top speed of one of these vans RV4s. And if you're thinking, how big are they? Well, the wingspan is about 23 foot, 7 metres across that. And when you think how close they're flying, Sam, it really does take expert knowledge and a lot of concentration from these.
Absolutely, plenty of practice, and we're in great hands here with two very experienced aerobatic pilots. In fact, when they're not flying at air shows, they're flying airliners, so they know how to be flown on their holidays.
I hope they don't do that funny stuff. No loop the loops what I'm in for, thank you very much. My goodness. I did it once, many years ago, a very famous aerobatic expert pilot, Ryan Conduct, took me up in his aircraft, and my goodness, I was white for a week. I mean, the blood drained from my face. It was
The
incredible.
trick of aerobatics in is if you fly, you don't fall forward.
Right.
That's the trick.
If you're a passenger, you're doomed.
Yes. So the pilots here are flying a number of up-position dual maneuvers, so they synchronize following each other's trail. The Van's R4 is an excellent aircraft for aerobatics due to its power to weight ratio. It's such a lightweight aircraft, it only weighs about 500 kilograms, it's about a third the weight of an average VW Golf, but it's fitted with a 5.3 litre 160 horsepower engine, giving it the performance like a hot rod car.
Imagine having that engine in your Golf. Oh, yeah. Soaring up high into the sky now, as I say, the cloudy sky. Nigel and John are pirouetting gradually down, splitting up. One's going left, one's going right. That's a nice sight. A little bit of a wing waggle there, so you can see the undercarriage, really see the wheels under these aircraft. And of course, these are the aircraft that are going to have all those power techniques strapped to them for one of our displays this evening for the twilight flights. If you've never seen these aircraft perform their twilight display, well, I hope you can stay in company tonight for a real treat. Ooh, just looking a bit romantic.
No, not quite, not yet.
No, I thought there was going to be doing something rather lovely to start for us.
So the normal cruising speed of an RV4 is around 160 miles per hour, but these guys don't do normal, so during the displays, the Firebirds make the most of the entire flight envelope, and they travel at anything from 0 miles an hour to over 200 miles per hour. They'll be pulling G up to +6 or -3, so they need to be physically fit to be able to withstand the G-force. And this morning they went for a run with one of the other pilots to make sure they were properly toned and ready for today's display. So looking out to the centre of the tram line now, the aircraft are flying upwards with smoke trailing, twirling as they climb, and then a little small turn over the top there. Punching out to sea towards the wind farm.
Don't forget, if you are here in Clacton with us, you can get all of the airshow coverage, not one of the speakers, on BBC 7. in, just out and about in New Clacton, tune in to BBC Essex on BBC Sounds, download that free BBC Sounds app, sign up with your email, a password, and your Essex postcode, and that is it. You are in. You have all of the action on the phone and your device, wherever you are. They're coming up for us now.
Smoke trailing, climbing up, pulling some nice G there, landing a leg positive G and then a bit of negative G over the top, which is pretty uncomfortable, I have to tell you, but the results are worth it. So a dough turn and then flying over towards the J-Rock end of the beach and channels to sea. Now these aircraft have been heavily modified for their role as airshow performers. They've been used with smoke systems and wingtip pyrotechnics, which you'll see this evening in the twilight displays. They also have lovely LED light strips to add effect to the fuselage of the aircraft. They're not fitted with inverted fuel systems, and therefore they must maintain positive G as much as possible to ensure the engines still run. And this routine is using standard aerobatic routines, which any pilot would do at an aerobatic competition. Now, because the aircraft is so lightweight, they're able to land and take off with a very short runway. They only need about 300 metres of runway, so perfect for landing at an airfield like Clacton Airshow.
Just a little word around safety if you are here in Clacton. We've seen members of Beach Patrol walking along the edge of the water, but we can't let you into the sea whilst the aircraft are displaying, I'm afraid. That's part of the rules. So if you can please make sure your youngsters or your not so youngsters stay on the beach and out of the water while the planes are in the skies above us, please.
So the lead pilot for the Firebirds is Nigel Reed, who's brought up with aviation, introduced by his father, who was an engineer, and began to fly in the family home. He then joined the local air squadron and completed a gliding course at Old Salem, becoming a staff cadet and later on flying chipmunks. Whilst at school, he did 3 paper rounds a day to save up enough money to pay for the fuel and instructor fees to gain his private credit pilot's license on a Piper Vagabond. He then joined the RAF straight from school and then went to Church Benton on Jet Everest, later on flying the Hawks and the RAF Valley, and then Hunters. He also flew the Jaguar, and then later on he joined British Airways as a captain on Boeing 747 and still flies his Charlotte's aircraft when he's not busy at air shows.
They're heading right towards us now, the commentary point soaring up into the sky. One is going left, one is going right, the smoke is on. Is this the moment I've been waiting for? Is this our message of love from the boys?
This is a beautiful big heart in the sky from the Firebirds, and Nigel Reed and John Dodd from the Firebirds display team.
That was epic. That was a huge heart. I don't know if we're going to see any others in the sky. I always love it when you get a heart in the sky. But thank you so much, Nigel. Thank you, John. We will see them later for the Twilight
match for any other craft, according to Rolls-Royce. This Supermarine Spitfire Mark 19, Type 390, was a tropicalised high-altitude strategic photo concept derivative of the Spitfire Mark 14. A fighter with a pressurised cabin, an extra 20 imperial gallon fuel tank on each wing, 2 vertical cameras, 1 oblique camera, no armament. A total of 225 of them were built. First Supermarine Spitfire Mark 19 was completed in October 1944, powered by the Rolls-Royce Griffin 66, which was a direct descendant of both the Butler engine and the R-type racing car plant. It included in its design a Roots-type blower for cabin pressurization. This was actually the final photo concept variant of the Supermarine Spitfire in the Mark 14 through the last operational sortie by an RAF Spitfire on the 1st of April 1954. So when a Mark 19 flew her photographic mission during the Malaya campaign over the jungle in Johor, it was thought it would contain the communist guerrilla hideouts. The Mark 14 was also the last RAF service Spitfire type, and the last being this Mark 19 with the temperature and humidity flight at RAF Woodvale, not being struck off until as late as June 1957.
We're playing the theme to the 1969 film The Battle of Britain because this aircraft features in that film, where it was painted with temporary markings to represent Griffith Squadron 2 and 3. It's now back in RAF Blue, representing this time as a photographic reconnaissance aircraft. But if you re-watch that film, the 1969 classic Battle of Britain, this very aircraft is one of the stars.
The Supermarine Spitfire was produced in greater numbers than any other British flag aircraft before or since the war. 20,341 Spitfires were built in 22 different variants. The aircraft had ended production due to draft wars. Prototypes maiden flight took place as early as 1936, and Mark 1 Spitfires entered RAF service in August 1938. The developed architecture of the original design allowed the Spitfire to establish and maintain air superiority that was so vital to the defence of Britain and to keep pace with the improvements in performance of enemy fighters throughout World War II. Spitfires fought in every operational theatre of the war and remained in RAF Flightline service up to 1954. At the end of its development, the Spitfire carried an engine producing twice the power of the original. Its maximum takeoff weight and rate of climb had also more than doubled. Its firepower had increased by a factor of 5. Its maximum speed had been increased by a third. All this is essentially in the same airframe. And the Spitfire, of course, played a major part in achieving ultimate victory in World War II. It truly deserves its place as probably the most successful fighter design ever, and certainly the most famous and charismatic of all time.
And of course, appropriate is one of the later Spitfires used towards the end of the war. We marked the 80th anniversary of D-Day Day just last week. Oh, that was a wonderful shot as the Spitfire climbed high into the sky. We saw the silhouette of those elliptical wings beautifully against the clouds as she flies out now over the wind farm. My goodness. There'll be some moist eyes in the crowd as we watch this and we listen to the stirring music with that fabulously loud, roaring Griffin engine from Rolls-Royce. This is a treat.
Goosebumps Central here on Clacton Beach. And as you look at the silhouette of this elliptical design of the Spitfire, I'm reminded of the wonderful film The First of the Few, which was actually filmed as a propaganda film by the British during the war, with Leslie Howard playing R.J. Mitchell as the designer of the Spitfire. And in that film, watching the birds enjoying designs, he took his inspiration for the Spitfire design on birds for wildlife. And of course, the first Spitfires that flew in air races were actually float planes. Rolls-Royce say that this aircraft is a dynamic and exciting ambassador for them, not just for the company, but also to inspire the younger generation and hopefully encourage them to choose science or engineering-based careers when they leave school. Flying so beautifully for us this afternoon is Mark Disco, who is now an MBE, who was honoured in the New Year's Honours List in January this year. He's flown as a fighter pilot with a BB for over 7 years, and officer commanding for the last 3 years. Handed over command of the BB to squadron leader Mark Sugden in October 2021. And he is now overseeing training support with the 29th Squadron, the Typhoon Operational Conversion Unit, based at RAF Coningsby. When he's not busy doing the day job, he's busy flying the Rolls-Royce owned Spitfire. You'll see plenty of Disco at future displays. Many congratulations to Disco on this richly deserved honour, and thank you for such a poignant and wonderful display of the Supermarine Spitfire Mark 19. The cameras at the ready as we have another pass along the beach.
Wow, absolutely sterling stuff. I have got goosebumps actually, as you mentioned that, and that was absolutely awesome. Thank you so much, Mark.
And a victory roll as he climbs along the beach now, looking out towards Clacton here.
Come on, Clacton, let's hear it. Let's have a round of applause for Mark and the Spitfire.
And a lovely tip of the wings there to tell us it's the end of this display. So you'll see that a lot this afternoon, where the pilots usually do 2 or 3
That is crazy. This is a bright blue Pitts aircraft. It's usually got a propeller and two jet engines on board. The jet engines are off for a bit of engineering work, so it's just the propeller, but the display is not going to be any less stunning. He's just arrived, Sam, by sort of hanging in the air at a kind of jaunty angle.
So we arrived on the proud right from the Jodo Club on the beach on what you would call a knife-edge path. Aircraft literally on its side with the nose pointing upwards and trailing smoke behind him. And it's now passing us inverted upside down and he's doing a 4-point hesitation roll by the looks of it. He's doing a little waggle of the wings. He's starting to warm up, ready for the routine, twirling up into the sky. Now Ian, you're saying it's just the propeller. It has an engine in there as well as a propeller. It's an 8.5 litre light foaming engine.
Good job.
It's incredibly powerful. It has over 300 horsepower with an aircraft weighing over 700 kilograms and a top speed of 200 miles per hour. It's an incredibly capable aircraft.
And Rich, of course, has two wings to waggle, not one. If you're listening at home, this is a biplane, so there are two wings on this one. The first biplane we're seeing today in Clacton, there's more to come. Climbing now up, I say climbing, he's just kind of just flying around the sky like a paper aircraft almost. He's climbing up, but doing the twirl that he wants.
Yes, so later on in the display, we'll do lots of high climbing, twirling, and the power of power. Now, this aircraft is actually the original aircraft designed as early as the 1940s by Curtis Hicks in America, and the first aircraft took to the skies in 1944. The legacy of the aircraft lives on its right here today. The aircraft is known throughout the world as a Pitts Special. This is the F2S version, and it's a revolutionary design for the aerobatics world. It's found across the globe on recreation, recreational competitions, and air displays.
I lost count of how many twists and turns Richard as he climbed into the sky. Interestingly, he is bright blue like the colour of the sky, and as he arrives, a little bit of blue patch has arrived in the sky too. It's flying fighter step, just being turn after turn after turn after turn. He must be incredibly fit. Well, he is. He came to see us earlier. He is a fit chap, and the pressure on his body, Sam, to be able to do this is intense, isn't it? Being an aerobatic pilot has to be incredibly fitness. And just this morning we went for an hour's run with the two pilots, and he's very, very keen on staying fit. But it's also important for training to practice the G before you're used to it. There'll be grunting in the aircraft as well, so pull up, there'll be lots of grunts going on. He'll be grunting.
And that helps with the blood flow to stop it rushing away from your head. Chasing not passing out. There's lots of techniques that the pilots use for that. He's not wearing a G-suit like you might get in Red Arrows, for example. He's just wearing a flying suit, maybe grunting and using his fitness to keep him active. Every now and again in the routine, there's slower manoeuvres where he allows the aircraft to regain its power and composure, as he does himself.
Lots of smoke trailing, white plumes of smoke coming from the rear of the Pitts aircraft. So he's quite high up into the skies now, just to our right, coming down. Oh, smoke off. He's coming down towards the display access, which is marked by those giant orange inflatable buoys that we can see in the scene in front of us. They're put there so the pilots know where the display centre is, the line of the display.
One of the great capabilities of this high-powered 8.5 litre foaming engine is he has incredible ability to be able to vertically climb. He also hold the aircraft in suspense as he is now the aircraft is literally floating by the propeller, just hanging in the air at 0 miles per hour. The smoke is trailing, he'll be watching for the wings and the controls as he dips down to gain some speed, ready
from the people on Clacton Seafront. Yeah, could we have a bigger one of that? Because that was amazing.
So the reason this aircraft is able to do such manoeuvres is that it's special. It was modified with a new wing design by Eddie Sandman. Can't pronounce that. It's got unique, massive ailerons and a huge expansive wing area, which means it gives it a phenomenal roll rate and accuracy on the wing building started in 2014 and it all took place in Richard's shed. If you look on his website, richgoodwinairshows.com, you can see photographs of the build of the wings. It took 4 years for Rich to decide to build this completely new aircraft, which was registered GJPIT. And as we said earlier, he moderates it with 2 jet turbine engines. Now those engines are away for maintenance at the moment, but they will be back hopefully later in the season.
Just a safety announcement from Temple District Council. Can I just remind you that flying drones is totally out of bounds here today. No drones please flying in the displayed airspace. We are following all the regulations put in place by the Civil Aviation Authority. So no drones, balloons and kites at Clacton Airshow whilst the flying is taking place. So please bear that in mind, because if we do have any problems with drones and the like, then we will have to stop flying on that day.
So the pit special Jake Pit has been modified from standard pit gear, and they removed some of that, and the engine mount has also been modified to make titanium strong gear legs, and there's a U-shaped carbon pilot that reduces weight and profile drag, and a modified rudder design which provides better lift, but also provides a more powerful yaw control, which means you can move aircraft quickly from side to side better, and in high winds, obviously, an amazing roll rate. Now, Rich actually owns 2 aircraft. He owns this one, JPIT and GEWIS. Both have been customised as top modified views, each with its augmented engines, modified control surfaces and impressive smoke systems. These enhancements allow him to provide a display of advanced aerobatic capabilities and execute a range of really distinctive manoeuvres such as the double hamhead, sometimes called the ham wheel, or the tower of power, which is a tilt roll and backward flight. Looking up to the sky now, Rich is twirling the aircraft in a vertical climb with the smoke trailing, now climbing down to some airspeed, heading towards Datum in the middle of the beach, which is a big orange buoy that connects the sea. Climbs back in again in a vertical rolling maneuver, and pitching at the top, twirling and spinning. Then holds the aircraft suspended for a few seconds before floating back down, heading towards the beach. Now, when an aerobatic pilot is flying these manoeuvres, he has to think not just about the routine review of the manoeuvres, but his position on the display line, the wind element that might be pushing him off the display line, the aircraft performance, the oil temperature, how it's performing, and how he's feeling. And he's doing all of that while smiling with a big grin on his face.
And who says men can't multitask, eh?
So Rich has had a really busy airshow season. He's already performed over 20 displays so far this year in the UK and France. After Clacton, he'll be going out to the Channel Islands for another show, back to France and across the UK for a number of
bbc.co.uk. That's my surname, WYATT at bbc.co.uk. Ian Wyatt and Sam Williams with you on the commentary point, live on BBC Essex from Clacton. And now we get another one of those very impressive videos. We've just seen the top of the wing as it flies on the side.
That was the high alpha knife edge flight, one of my personal favourites. It's often seen in aerobatic competitions at ultimate level, which is the highest level of aerobatic competitions or aerobatic training. And Rich is like twirling and twirling above the beach. I think he's having way too much fun up there.
Of course, the routine is very well rehearsed and planned, so they know exactly where they can be at what time. They've got to remember, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, some of the pilots, they have arresting diagrams. So arresting is the name that is given for the drawing of an aerobatic manoeuvre, which is kind of swirls and arrows, and you can have these diagrams that look a bit like shorthand, and you can have one of those on a bit of paper stuck on your cockpit to remind you of the routine. The pilots also do pictures on the ground. And Rich was at some French flight a short while ago. He's actually stood looking up to the wind, releasing his hand and talking to himself, looking like he was having a strange sign language moment, but actually he was rehearsing.
Really what you felt. The story is right here, straight through the green field, very close to the commentary point here. I tell you what, people are having so much fun. It's hard to see at the moment. People with these fabulous hands and ice cream. You go.
Well, I am. I think I'd rather an ice cream than a cup of cow. I've got no way to put it. I've seen how big they are. In fact, one gentleman walked past us from low on the prom beneath the commentary point with one on his shoulder a little while ago. It was quite ominous. Talking of ominous, you might have seen the slicky arrival of Vampire and Strikemaster, just sneaking in from the direction of the pier. They're now coming back from the other side. I'm just checking. I think actually we've got the Strikemaster coming. Oh no, I can see now. I've got my glasses on. We've got one of each, that's good. And look at this now, this is wonderful. The Vampire and the Strikemaster. Trailing the Vampire at the moment is that BBC Strikemaster as they fly out over the wind farm to very distant. For us that haven't got X-ray vision anymore, they look quite different from a distance.
Yes, so flying this afternoon we've got the de Havilland Vampire FB52, which is flown this afternoon by Sean Ching and Kian Bright. They're flying the Strike Master this afternoon. And then we've got Ken Arhisler flying the Vampire FB52. So the Vampire is flown in today from Duxford and the Strike Master from Northfield Aerodrome.
Essex Aerodrome, Northfield, playing its role in Clacton and helping make it happen. So banking over the pier now, we've got the Vampire and the Strike Master. We're going to get a great view from the end of Clacton Pier right now as they make their way along the seafront from left to right, flying in close formation. What an awesome sight. They're just banking down, left and down, get to the sea, a very different aircraft. Double pronged piece that's linked across the back. The Strike Master is a little bit more conventional. Banking out into the clouds, over a lovely barge. I think that might be Thistle. I'll tell you about if I saw that barge celebrating a 130th birthday, I'm told today. But more about that later, because we need to find out more about these incredible aircraft as we move into some real power mode at Clacton Airshow.
So celebrating the jet age, this is the Norwegian Air Force Historical Squadron, which is the brainchild of Ken Isler, who is flying the Vampire this afternoon. And he brought the aircraft together as a historical display squadron to preserve these ex-military historical aircraft in their aerobatic condition, to develop these unique displays to air shows all around Europe, but also to educate on the important role they play in aviation. The de Havilland DH-300 Vampire is a British jet fighter commissioned by the Royal Air Force during the Second World War. Following the collapse of Meteor, it was the second jet fighter to enter service with the RAF. But it arrived too late to combat during the war. The Vampire then served with Flightline squadrons until 1953 and continued use as a trainer until 1966. Meanwhile, the de Havilland Vampire FB52, this particular aircraft was a Royal Norwegian Air Force marking, representing the Vampire PXK, serving at 336 Squadron in the early 50s, was Norway's first pure jet fighter squadron. So the FB52 was the export version of the Mark 6, 101 were built, 36 exported to Norway, and in use from 1949 to 1957.
And a bit of a film star used in the film, a movie adaptation of the Frederick Forsyth novel, The Chef, a 2023 film. It was actually filmed in Norfolk, just north of us, up past Appleton, Norfolk. Give you a bearings if you're new to us here in Essex. This one has outside country split up temporarily. The Vampire has gone on to the left. The Strike Master over here off to the right.
And I recently watched that, and it was actually quite a goosebump moment when the Vampire was going to fly
hugely expensive to look after and operate these aircraft. If they can get a movie or a TV show giving them a little bit of money to hire them for the filming, it's really useful.
Absolutely, that revenue is so important to maintain the aviation heritage, and it also helps to allow these aircraft to be maintained to appear at air shows as well, and hopefully encourage young people to want to study maths and science and perhaps go into aviation themselves, either as pilots or as engineers. Almost 3,300 vampires are built, a quarter of them under license in other countries. The vampire design was also developed into the de Havilland Venom fighter bomber, as well as the Naval Sea Vampire variants. The vampire served with many air forces worldwide, setting aviation first and records, being the first RAF fighter with a top speed exceeding 500 miles per hour. Another one of those records was the first carrier landing and takeoff of a jet aircraft formed by test pilot Eric Willie Brown in 1945 when he landed and took off again at HMS Ocean. In June 1946, the vampire was introduced to the British public when Flight Advance 247 Squadron was given the honour of leading the flying past over London at the Victory Day celebrations.
Wonderful, wonderful history, and one of the servants for many, many years is still looking absolutely superb, as we see there now. In rather heavier styles, a heavier card, so a little darker in places now, but it is still warm. I've got my teeth on. Not got the knees out today. I'm going for the jeans option because of the later finish. We're going to be on the commentary point till like 9 o'clock. But I didn't think I'd risk the shorts. I think the knees might come out tomorrow.
I think a lot of the pilots are wearing shorts today under their flying suits. They get very hot and bothered in the aircraft. There's no air conditioning in many of these aircraft, so they really do have to be cool.
Slow turn now. We're seeing it doing that thing where they go along from right to left in this case. And they just turn 90 degrees a time. Just gives you a lovely sort of all-round view of the aircraft as it passes.
Yeah, so then that maneuver is sometimes called a hesitation roll, where they stop on each 4 points of the clock. But the vampire just then is just doing, again, what was later in the Bronco, where they go side to side and just pause on the edge. And this aircraft has a huge kind of fin on the back, and it's wonderful to see the huge manoeuvrability of that aircraft design. Flown so beautifully this afternoon by Kenneth Wiesler, the vampire pilot and the creator of the Norwegian Historic Squadron. He first started flying at 15 years old in a glider. He then gained about 800 hours on land before joining the military in the 1980s. He then went on to become a flying instructor before joining Scandinavian Airlines and flying Boeing aircraft. More than 250 hours on this type of aircraft, actively involved in their maintenance. Always had a passion for aerobatic. He also loves to fly his Yak 52 as well as the Vampire.
That's a bit small, isn't it? Super. You're listening to BBC Essex live from the Clacton Airshow. We're on 103.5 FM and BBC Sounds. Great Beach with our afternoon show on DAB if you are looking for a break on our usual afternoon show features.
So it's Ken pitching up centre dating on the beach there. As he climbs up at certain points, the aircraft is almost silent. Only at the top you hear the roar and the thrust of the engine. And that really demonstrates how these types of jets are used, particularly during the sort of Cold War period, where they needed to fly in kind of stealth mode. So they would go from very noisy with lots
friends at Clacton Beach Patrol are currently walking up and down the seafront on the beach at the edge of the tide. There's quite a big bit of beach today, which is great, and please stay on that beach. Please don't go into the water, because that is one of the safety rules of running an airflow at sea. You can't be in the water whilst the aircraft are displaying above. So please make sure your friends or family or loved ones are with you on the beach. Welcome them in if they're going into the water, because we need to keep them out of the water. Please help Beach Patrol doing such a fabulous job in their bright red t-shirts and hoodies, helping keep the airshow flying and keeping everybody safe. His vampire, and yes, let's hear it. Let's have a round of applause, please, for a beautiful display from the vampire. I can tell you someone who is dead jealous she's not here today. Our colleague Sadie Nine at BBC Essex would absolutely love to be here. She's busy preparing her weekend programme on BBC Essex with you every Saturday and Sunday between 10 and 2. Actually, I'm working with Sadie on Sundays, we're going to do it too. Sadie's got beautiful, wonderful, effervescent Sadie Nine from 10 to 2. The Strike Masters had a little break. I don't know where it was loitering all that time, but it is back. At the PAC Strike Master, got a smoke training out of So Aerobatic's in a different style to what we've seen already today, but I did say that Benny Hutch from Stansted in Essex took the first loop in that craft, and Sam, you said that was the
There's one that often flies Mustang aerodrome, the World War I aerodrome. It's a very pretty aircraft. It's quite challenging to
far. Just flying over the wind farms at the moment, banking round, and it looks like, ooh, it's coming straight for us. Up into the sky, turning 360 degrees, turning some underpowered turn.
Shout out, his name was Sir John Lewis, and he was based at Church Fenton. So my friends listening in this afternoon, I hope you'll be experiencing some nostalgia of my dad training pilots on the jet cover in the 1980s.
And those Thames barges, Steve Scruton's muscled themselves into the VIP area and got a bit more information on those.
Yes, I have. If you're looking out to sea now, the one closest to the pier is the Thistle, and the one to the right-hand side of it is the pub. So we've got the Thistle and the pub barging out there, and they've got a fantastic view over there.
And it's the Thistle that's celebrating her 130th birthday. And all the passengers on the Thistle and the pubs, I know they're listening to Radio Airshow from BBC Essex on 103.5 FM. Great to have you with us. download it if you haven't got it. Download it. It's free. You can just sign up for an account, put on a password, put in your Essex postcode, and you're going to get all sorts of stuff. Not just, of course, from the air show, but a whole lot more besides from life here in our county. Welcome our fan favourite here at Clacton Airshow, taking off just down the road at the Aero Club. This is Tony Gibran in his Bronco.
The North American OE-10 Bronco is an American turboprop light attack and observation aircraft. It was developed in the 1960s as a special aircraft for counter-insurgency, not in combat, and one of its primary missions was as a forward air-controlled aircraft. It can carry up to 3 tons of external munitions, internal loads such as paratroopers or stretchers, and it can loiter hours. You'll see from the distinctive shape of the aircraft, as Tony flies out towards the wind farm there, it's got a huge fin on the back and a very large wing. Now that is designed for the aircraft to be able to have a short takeoff and landing capability. It was designed in the 1960s for operating in jungle conditions such as Vietnam and the Philippines, where they needed to land and take off this aircraft in very short strips and middle of the jungle in very difficult conditions. As Tony banks up and shows us the underneath of the aircraft, you see the bright day-day orange tips on the fins of the rudder and the wingtips. And Tony twirls the aircraft gently and slowly. It's highly maneuverable, and this routine showed us the absolute phenomenal capabilities of the aircraft.
I love the colour scheme. I love that bright yellow orange, that fluorescent orange colour that matches the buoys, the water buoys that mark the display centre in the sea in front of us. It is so bright, it is so fun, and I know Tony will be in his bright orange jumpsuit which matches that wing-tip design. Actually, in these sort of slightly moody skies, it really stands out, doesn't it?
Yes, it's really easy to see the aircraft against the overcast sky, and for those of you that are following the airshow social media, you should hopefully see later on some on-board footage from the Bronco as Tony has a GoPro on board. Now, as he flies very slowly in across the beach, you can see him just flying along very, very slowly. And this shows you the capability of the low speed the aircraft can do. The aim of this display is to demonstrate the aircraft's short takeoff and landing, strong capability, excellent maneuverability. It has a very short turn radius and a very impressive roll rate as a result of that huge wing. The low speed capability is also demonstrated in the routine, as we'll see a bit later on with what they call a dirty pass. And he's approaching us now with the light on the cockpit glaring towards us. He's taken us a 45-degree angle.
And the wheels are back up now. We did just see the 3 wheels a little while ago, which are rather nice, that low, slow pass. They've now gone back up, and Tony banks the Bronco up into the skies. And a bit of sun, I think, glinting on the wing as he turns round now over the wind farm in front of us and heads back towards us. I mean, this is an aircraft type that's seen service in major conflicts. Oh, a bit of smoke trailing out now from the wing, from the rudder. Oh, now, twist, a quick turn. That's that maneuverability you were mentioning.
Yeah, the short turn capability. So this aircraft, the Bronco, was actually conceived by 2 US Marines who built a concept prototype in their garage, would you believe? It was then built by North American Rockwell, and the first flight was on the 16th of July, 1965. She then served 3 US branches climate-resistant windshields, something you see in James Bond, and stealthy fuel cells operating in those hostile environments. The Bronco was designed to use roads for takeoff and landing, as well as strips in the jungle, and she can also operate from an aircraft carrier.
If you're wondering just sort of how big that cargo area is, well, it can either hold 2,400 pounds of cargo, 6 paratroopers or 2 stretchers and a medic, which I think kind of puts it into perspective, doesn't it? The size of the aircraft and what it's capable of.
So the Bronco saw service in other countries, including Germany, Thailand, Venezuela and Indonesia. And then also examples that were later used in Morocco and Colombia, as well as the Philippines. Boeing developed the OB-10X with a computerized cockpit, sensors and smartphone capabilities. Now, talking of the cockpit, it is a huge glass bubble, and anyone that's seen footage of the aircraft will see just how huge that cockpit is. And for Tony, what he loves about that is it gives him a goldfish bowl view of the show. He absolutely loves flying here at Clacton. It's his 7th year here at the show. He loves it because he can fly into the airfield, walk to the seafront, see the displays, and he said he just feels like he's on top of the world in that glass cockpit.
I bet he does. He likes Clacton. He's been here since yesterday, so he's making the most of his time here with the team as well. And lovely little manoeuvre there as they flew from the pier up towards the Martello Tower. Sort of one wing up and then down, up and down. So you get to see the top, the bottom of the aircraft.
I'm going to go get coffee, is that right? Are you happy
Now,
to
the
stay here?
aircraft flew from Sandersfield in Belgium, where they're based. Took them around as much as 30 minutes to fly here to Clacton.
Oh, to be able to move that quickly. I mean, the M25 on an afternoon, 4 o'clock is the time, very nearly. It'll be building up at the tunnels when we come into Essex. Just imagine that, you get from Belgium in half an hour.
Now, if we look high up above the beach, Tony's gone quite high up and then he's dipping down, he's going to get some high speed. We've got the undercarriage down there, so this is what we call the dirty pass. Then while the wind to do what we call a chandelle manoeuvre.
over here. The Essex Flight Rescue Service. So Stephen Green is the community safety officer here on the Orbit display. Obviously, community safety is an important thing, and I guess that's why we're here to talk about community safety.
Absolutely, it's a great opportunity to get to meet the public. Obviously, we've got open days here, but there's a lot of people here from all over the county, which is excellent. So we're here to manage fire safety, important to make sure the smoke alarms are working. We have one upstairs, upstairs, one at the bottom of the stairs, closing the door, stuff like that. Also for people's information, we do something called a home safety visit, where we come to your house, smoke alarm free of charge. All you need to do is go over to our tent, which is where we've got a big jet down up to the big hay, and the big market, the big arcade and the drinks ice cream van, and and sign up. We do free of charge. There's no money involved. You'll need the name, number, and the address, and someone will give you a call after the show. We'll come to the train, smoke alarm, send you a battery, and it's going out, it's taken to the home without keeping a fire.
Great meal here, and you've got this public space to put some fresh tomatoes. You're here tonight, you're here.
Absolutely. We're not going to do that, because there are a lot of people here. That's fantastic.
Well, as you hear from Steve on the seafront, that's live on the commentary point now for the arrival of the very swordfish. What a treat for Peter, who's celebrating his 76th birthday today. Happy birthday, Peter, from the bloke and all the family. But what a treat to see this aircraft with biplane, beautifully gracefully arriving from just checking out Old Warden, the fairy swordfish is coming from. Local IQ has sponsored this display for the Clacton Airshow today. And the fairy swordfish is a remarkable aircraft. We had with us here in Clacton last year Jonathan Hearn, who came all the way from Australia to see the fairy swordfish. He is listening to Radio Airshow in Australia right now because his dad flew a fairy swordfish. So a very, very special aircraft. A stalwart of the Second World War, but successful operations, and of course it's involved in sinking of the Bismarck. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that. This is the oldest surviving air-worthy fairy swordfish in the world. First flown on Trafalgar Day, the 21st of October, 1941. Serving with the Royal Navy's Mediterranean Fleet for a year. Little known really of the role while at active service in the Mediterranean. It's likely that she was based at the North Front of Gaza, carrying out patrols over the Straits before returning to Mary's Stockport factory for refurbishments during winter 1942 to 42. It's incredible after all of those years, Williams, that this aircraft is able to be here and display with us today.
Yeah, don't film the whole thing.
It really is so special to see all the aircraft that goes and fly out towards the early part of World War II. Last year was such a kind of moment to see the gentleman from the Roman swordfish talking to us about the Arctic missions. It really was such an important part of World War II.
So you can see the black and white stripes both of the firing of the aircraft as she comes down into water, so to see. So we're getting a waggle and up and down of the wind. We're getting a beautiful, graceful view of the swordfish.
Alors, more than that, so 2.2k. During lockdown, he was doing loads of crazy, that's how he got famous.
Good idea.
Pass the phone quick.
Oh wow, it's coming really. You're definitely right, it's a lot slower.
not afforded too much comfort, there being no heater and just fabric coverings and an open cockpit, affording little shelter from the cold in winter. But the aircraft is highly manoeuvrable and not many disparaging remarks are ever made about it, except the fact that it lacks speed. This did, however, work in its favour, because enemy guns found it difficult to offset their sighting of such a slow target.
Those markings that we discussed are the D-Day invading Scots that the Swordfish is wearing. As of last year, the commemorating 80th anniversary of the D-Day landings, it's really very striking. Over the black light stripes on the wing, but also on the fuselage. Remarkable out in the skies above Clacton. Sun just glinting on the wing as it climbs up into the skies, banking around so gracefully.
Now, we talked about earlier about probably the most important role of the Swordfish played during the World War II conflict was that of the protection of the Atlantic and Arctic convoys. A large proportion of the war material needed to come from North America in convoys of ships, and they were being savaged by the German submarine attacks. Three types of shipping were employed: naval aircraft carriers, export carriers, and finally merchant aircraft carriers working on oilers or grain ships with a flat deck, welded above the hull, known as mass ships. Swordfish has an essential low-speed handling characteristics to operate on the empty flight decks, and yet still boasted a 4-hour endurance in the air.
Wish me luck.
With constant daylight air cover, settling below the surface, they were unable to move more than 7 knots, thus rendering them less effective. The Swordfish actually sank 21 submarines over the course of the war, whilst escorting Arctic convoys to North Russia, and they were responsible for the highest tonnage of any shipping sunk by any ground aircraft type. The aircraft is incredibly versatile, with the distinction of being one of the few aircraft that remained in operational service throughout World War II, outlasting its intended replacement, the Alba 4.
Now, the Battle of Toronto what a treat you will be in for, Jason. As we say hello and welcome to the 6 members of Team Raven.
Flying all the aircraft for you this afternoon. Probably the world's best-selling Southall aircraft. We've got 6 hugely experienced pilots flying with you on Team Raven this afternoon. It's a formation aerobatic display team that formed in 2014, and since that time they have displayed all across Europe. The name Raven comes from a play on the letters RV, which makes more sense with Richard RV capital V, N, as is on the team's badge, and RV refers to the aircraft they display, the amazing brand RV Hunt. An all-aluminium, tandem, two-seater, fully aerobatic with good G limits. Ian, we're ready for some pure entertainment this afternoon.
And very rare, Sam, to have a civilian aerobatic team of this number.
Absolutely, they are unique pilots. They do the Raven display routine and the whole airshow season for fun as a quick hobby, as it were. They literally just what they said is they like to cover the season's costs and have enough for a few beers at the end of the season.
Well, we're going to get some amazing aerobatics from them as 4 have stayed in formation, 2 have peeled off towards the clear, the 4 in formation have gone off to the right. The sun really is glinting on these white aircraft now. Against South Field aircraft, like we saw a little earlier with the Firebirds. So you need a massive box of kits to put this together. Like just taking a picture of a golden after or something.
I'll actually use the phones from the summer's home on an RVA I've built in his farm. I think it's fairly funky. The RVAs are operated with a 180 horsepower engine, with excellent power to weight ratio, similar to the RV4 that we saw with the Firebirds earlier, and combined with an efficient airframe that gives this aircraft the performance and water-like handling that make it perfect for formation flying. And just look at the centre crowd there, we've got a 4-ship formation twirling above, smoke trailing. You can see just the position of the aircraft, the positioning is so accurate. They're looking at the pilot's wings to make sure they maintain their accurate position. They move from the 4-ship formation, one of the aircraft breaks away, and then we've got a quick through, a V-shape of these aircraft as they contact one clear.
And in that lead aircraft is Raven 1, Simon Sid Shirley. Sid's a former RAF fast jet pilot with around 5,005 hours flying time, having done multiple tours of the Tornado F3, flying missions over the Balkans in 1995, as well as tours as a qualified flying instructor on the Hawk and the Flight tutor in the University Air Squadron elementary flying training roles. He now serves as a full-time reservist, flight commander on the university's Wales Air Squadron, and at Civitation, flying the Flight tutor once more. He's a keen motorcyclist when he's not in the aircraft. He's known to tour Europe, mainly the Pyrenees, with other bikers, and is a confident skier.
So I was chatting to the Ravens last night, Ian, and they were very complimentary about Sid, and they said, well, first of all, they were teasing, saying that he started flying fighters before he got his driving licence because he was so young. And then they wanted to say that seriously, he really runs the team so well, and it's safe to say that when Sid's leading, you feel like you're in good hands, and they would pretty much follow him anywhere.
That reminds me, I was speaking to an NS racing driver who was 19 the other day from Mersey Island, Dudley's his name, and just signed for a race team in the B4 championship, and he hasn't got his car license yet either. He's got a provisional, but he can't drive a 48er, but he's 140 at Silverstone. Crazy. Anyway, I digress. We had a lovely image there as the 3 that broke away, as we saw in that V-shaped formation, flew left to right, and the one that broke away was leaping, barrel turning round all of the rest of the 3. And it seems so graceful because of the speed they're doing it at. It's a brilliant photographic opportunity.
flying Raven 2 is Patrick Wilson. He's the youngest and newest member of the team. He joined the team at the start of this year, and I'm told that he's yet to realise just how difficult it is because he's a natural formation pilot and a great team member. He's also a commercial pilot, so he may have flown you on your holidays.
They're back in the six-ship formation and they're flying straight to us, lifting high into the sky. You see the undercarriage as they're kind of digging away in different directions. Up, left, right, and now the three that were together head down to the sea, splitting off in different directions and heading out over the wind farm. Beautiful precision.
So the aircraft have been modified with smoke systems which greatly add to their dynamic display. Show the RV8 concourses to full. The team is completely self-funded. It takes a lot of work to keep everything going. Raven 3 is also the engineer pilot who welds and he fixes things when needed. He also has a business as an aircraft engineering composite company. He says tyres, tubes, brake pads, discs, they wear out regularly just like cars, and all the fees from the display goes directly back into the running of the team. None of them make any money from this, they never go places they don't want to go. The fact that they reappear at Clacton several times means that they love it here. They have a great team dynamic, a great banter amongst themselves, but they're also totally professional. They take the flying very seriously, and everything is done to perfection. Back to the days of Gerald, who is Raven 4, who was previously a rugby Welsh national international player.
He's the sporty one. If these were the Spice Girls, he's sporty.
So he went from playing rugby for Wales to flying fast jets, and he likes sorting out the organisation of the shows, does a lot of the paperwork and deals with a lot of the show organisers to keep things moving to do.
He's a dream. I bet the others love that. I'll do the paperwork, I'll do the forms, and we just, well, he's popular.
But we also have to say that Barry got really this from Dunstan, now retired as a display pilot, he also helps the team as doing the admin, the paperwork, and helping them with the team camaraderie, all the things that no one else wants to do. So Barry's with them here at Clacton this weekend, or this 2 days as well.
Just together now, picking one foot down, showing us the underbelly, and soaring out to sea. The sea is getting further away from us as we speak as the time goes out.
So Raven 5 is Rusty Swell, who's a ex-senior display pilot, and apparently he's helped the team every weekend, like to tell them. He's also displaying some of the well-known historical aircraft, such as the Seaport, and he's also displayed the Rolls-Royce Spitfire. With an impressive military career in the Navy, and he asked the ex-fast jet pilot, Stuart says that Rusty's a slow jet pilot because he's in the area. So there's a little bit of inter-service rivalry going on. He joined the team in 2022, the same year as his wife.
Because the white smoke is trailing from the back of the aircraft, you got to see the line that they had taken. And as that just proved, when 2 aircraft soared into the sky and the big loop round, the precision of those loops marked out by that smoke. I mean, you can't hide when there's a smoke trail behind you. And we just saw that. It was just absolutely beautiful the way the aircraft were some distance apart, but the smoke trail of each one totally in.
So way in the distance above the wind farm, we've got a 3-ship formation and a V-shape there, and fleet over the top looking like they were doing a slow barrel roll. And now they're pitching up towards the beach, with the lights of the aircraft shining up as the smoke trails behind. You can hear the roar of the engine at 180 horsepower echoing along the seafront. Raven 6 is flown by Mark Sovereign, and his nickname is Bradford Kit, because he's from Bradford. He's an ex-Tornado bomber pilot, and he's a tireless worker, again one of the team that does a lot of the jobs the others don't want to, but they sometimes nickname him Captain Slow, like James May and Top Gear, because he's often the last crew member to make it to the bus.
I thought you were going to say to make it to the bar. Perhaps he's first. That's why he's late to the bus. Two going up in the sky right in front of us. One going left, one going right. Could this be? The heart for me?
Pilots showing their love for Clacton. Team Raven, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here on Clacton Beach. What a phenomenal display that was.
Two have made a huge heart in the smoke, and another, a third, has come through and pierced that heart like an arrow.
Quick on the tail with a cruise ship in a fan manoeuvre as they pitch up one for the other. Looping over the top with a smoke trail behind.
Can I just say, hats off to Owen, who's making all of this happen on the seaside with the technicals, for bringing it low in the air, the 4 meters apart. So that was absolutely super. You tell us been more few years.
So on a hot day like today, you might wonder, how do the aircraft cope in heat wave? How do pilots cope? We're talking to Pete Wells, who told me it's brilliant being part of such a great team because they all look out for each other. He said, when you've got an aircraft like this, now in places like France with up to 40 centigrade temperatures, he said engine cowling can bubble up like blisters. But what they do is they hide underneath the airplane wings when they're waiting to display to stay cool in the shade. He said the argument is brilliant as it's on the canopy is on rails, open biplane. You take it out just before takeoff, so you've got lots of ventilation before you get down in the sun on the display. They all watch out for each other, and for people that acting strategy, it's normally because they're dehydrated. The aircraft performance does lose some power in the heat, and cooling can be an issue. So the temperatures they're operating at will be higher than a hot day, and they need to keep that engine cool. Watch out for their oil temperature, and increase and look after the oil in the engine to allow more lubrication. They run the aircraft a minimal amount of time before takeoff, don't wait for it to burn, to make sure that those engines are ready.
And look at that response. It roars from the thousands of thousands of people in that 6 minutes together, over here, through a long formation before each right turn peeled off in a beautiful route. That was absolutely gorgeous.
They're flying almost diagonally staggered, which is what you call echelon as a manoeuvre, and then as they pan away, the fan break is really popular for formation display and smoke training.
The fan break sounded much nicer than like peeled away, but yeah,
Well, it's true, they do peel away, and it's just lovely to watch. You can see them above the 10 barrier ships there, the barge ships, they're just formating, ready to fly down and to land at Clacton Airshow.
Again, a wonderful, wonderful display, and we must thank Team Raven for being here today with us with their 6 wonderful aircraft. And look at them now, just in that little bit of blue. There's a lot of sun bathing on us now, bathing down on the seafront, but still a little cloud in the sky, but a big patch of blue where the Team Raven found. And then coming back to say goodbye one more time. So this perhaps, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is the time for a massive round of applause for Team Raven. Shooting off in 6 different directions over the sea, the sun glinting on those white wings. That was absolutely brilliant. Loved it. crowd likes.
You see an auction.
It's a Lynx AH7 helicopter flown this afternoon by Lynx pilot Clive Clark.
Straight away.
The Westland Lynx helicopter first flew in 1971 to this day with the international speed record for a helicopter of 249.09 miles per hour. These designs have gone faster but are not fast as a traditional helicopter.
It was just banging
We're
against
going to
it.
see so many win-overs today from this helicopter. It's absolutely incredible, and I love this. To get a helicopter like this at Clacton
Off
Airshow
your
on its
newspaper.
debut is just absolutely superb. Serving as AH-7 as the Army's anti-tank helicopter for the latter half of the Cold War and throughout the 1990s, sent service in both Gulf Wars. The Lynx AH-7 was replaced in the anti-tank role in 2005 by the Apache and was eventually retired from support roles in August 2015, 10 years ago.
Boy, wait till we Red Arrows top. It'll be mental.
Yeah, well, I think that's like I said, just wait for that. Warming up a bit now.
So you can hear rotor blades really chopping through the air here on the seafront as the Lynx helicopter is pitching nose up about 55 degrees, almost at 0 miles per hour.
Facing the crowd with that wonderful hover. Good job, yeah, thank you. I know a lot of people are waving. A good time to wave to our pilot. He will see you. We're getting a very western turn. Now, we've seen the side, the bottom, the other side, and back around to the front.
The main rotor diameter is 42 feet, the aircraft is 50 feet long and 12 feet 3 inches high. It weighs over 10,000 pounds fully loaded and has up to a maximum speed of 184 miles per hour. But at the moment, it's very much slowing down as the Westland Lynx is just reversing backwards, wagging its tail. Give the pilot in the air for a big wave as it pitches down nose down to 1 feet long ahead, showing its extreme capability.
It's going to whiz off fast in a minute. You wait. But that's a wonderful 360-degree stop turn, sideways back manoeuvre, and then those pirouettes along the A-axis. Absolutely wonderful with that nose down.
I used to have helicopters back on my school field because I went to the school next to the kids' hospital, and before they built the helipad, the air ambulance used to land on the school field. It was fascinating.
Absolutely superb.
We played football, we used to tell the squad to move because the air ambulance was going to land in the middle of the pitch.
So both land and ship-based versions of the Lynx went into production for the Army and the Navy. And the British Army Air Corps got their first Lynx in 1979. They used them for utility, transport, anti-tank, search, rescue, escort and reconnaissance missions. Then in 1981, the British Fleet Air Arm received their first Lynxes. The naval version incorporated many changes, including wheels instead of skids, sonar, radar, different sensors to use as anti-shipping, anti-submarine and anti-pirate, as well as ship retrenchment missions. The landing skid equipped version of the Lynx entered service into the Army Air Corps in the late 70s as AH-1, and they were regularly upgraded until the AH-7. The Westland Lynx AH-7 was an upgraded land-based design to the British Army Air Corps. It had updated engines, gearbox, a bigger tail rotor, and upgraded anti-tank abilities. The AH-7 could carry up to 9 troops or passengers.
Perhaps I think it's a project links for what we're seeing here. This particular Westland Lynx helicopter completed her maiden flight in May 78, after which she was retained by Westland for trials and demonstration purposes. Delivered to the Army Air Corps in 1983 as Lynx AH Mark I, and then converted to AH Mark 7 in 93. By the time of her retirement, this helicopter, retiring from the British Army in 2013, had flown 6,500 hours in many places around the world. As a donor aircraft for the Augusta Western Wildcat program, XZ-179, that's her number, was stripped of many of her components and disposed of in 2017, eventually being bought by Graham Pinkley, her current owner, a keen aviation enthusiast. Graham is an accomplished pilot himself, and over the years he's owned a number of aircraft, including the MiG-15, the Westland Whirlwind, the Wasp South, and the Bell helicopter. Now, Graham actually bought this helicopter intending on positioning her as an outdoor static display piece in his garden. How big is his garden? However, he quickly developed a strong desire to return him to flight, and on the 10th of September 2019, she was transported by laylover to North Korea's Heritage Aviation in Essex, where she underwent complete restoration.
Now, eyes to the sky, you saw the helicopter there doing a bow to the cloud, which really was quite something. Flown this afternoon by British pilot Clive Clark. He's got around 17 years Army aviation experience as a pilot and helicopter instructor during a period of 27 years in Her Majesty's Forces. He's flown over 6,000 hours, mostly on twin turbine helicopters, and experienced in most series of military flying from counter-terrorism, airborne reconnaissance,
Thanks very much. Good afternoon, Clacton. I am Squadron Leader Grey Muscat, as you just heard. I am Red 10 with the Royal Air Force Aerobatic team. It's the Red Arrows. It's great to be back here at Clacton. I know we didn't attend last year due to the team's tour in Canada, but it's great to be back here on the Clacton Airshow. I have the honour of talking through the display with you. I'll give you some more information about the Royal Air Force, about the wider team. I'll give you the names of the manoeuvres, but more importantly, I'll get your eyes into the correct piece of sky so you do not miss a single second of the action. I'm just tracking the team on flight radar now. We're operating from Royal Air Force Mildenhall, which is a US Air Force base up in Suffolk. And we're just tracking them, making sure they're getting themselves ready. They'll get the team ready, they'll get the aircraft trimmed, they'll get the smoke pods primed, ready to put out our famous red, white and blue when we arrive here at Clacton. A very busy period coming up now. We've got today's show at Clacton, tomorrow lunchtime Clacton, before we then go down to Devon to perform at Sidmouth tomorrow evening. And then back into Mildenhall on Saturday, and then on Saturday afternoon we transit over to Denmark. We'll be doing a display at Denmark on Sunday. Take a rest day on Monday and then make our way over to Poland, where we're in Poland all of next week and displaying in Poland next weekend, before then coming back. And within that display over Poland, we then have to pop down into Romania on the Friday and Saturday. It's an extremely busy time for the whole team. That's not just the pilots, but all the support crew, all the engineers that obviously travel across the world, making sure our jets are in top condition. If I go quiet, it's because I'm just speaking to Red 1, just to give them some more information about the display site, all the pressure and the wind here at Clacton, so they can give you the best display that we can. There are 3 types of display that we can do. It's either a full show, a rolling show, or a flat show, and it's dependent on airspace and or cloud base. So I've just made contact with Red 1. They're all working on time, as I said, 3 types of show, depending on cloud base and or airspace. Cloud base isn't necessarily an issue here today. Obviously we can see the blue, but unfortunately the airspace from Southend Airport is limiting us to 3,500 feet, so it will be no more than a rolling show here today at Clacton. But it's still a fast, dynamic and enjoyable show. When we arrive in a large V formation. It's the same formation that you see on our national fly pass across London for His Majesty King Charles III. And make sure you give him a huge round of applause, a huge cheer, and I'll transmit that very warm Clacton welcome to the team to give them that extra G up, ready to put on a great show here today. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please put your hands together for the Red Arrows! As I said, arriving at over 400 miles per hour, trailing our famous red, white and blue. Red 1 pulls them up, moves them around to the right. And you can see that large V formation from the top. You'll now see Red 6 and 7 collapse. They'll sit behind Red 1. Reds 8 and 9 will also collapse to form our world famous Diamond 9. Leading the team, of course, is squad leader John Bond, known as Bondy. One of your own, he's from Essex. He's in his 7th year on the team, his 2nd year as the team leader, a former Typhoon pilot, former qualified flying instructor on the Tucano. From the right, the smoke comes on once again in the Diamond 9. It's the Red Arrows. On the right-hand side of Red 1 is Red 2, Flight Lieutenant Rob Thomas. Rob is in his 1st year on the team. Uniquely, he was taken from training and made straight into an instructor on the Hawk, before then completing his own training and joining the Typhoon Force, where he conducted operations over Iraq and Syria on 3 Squadron before becoming an instructor on 29 Squadron, all based at RAF Coningsby in Lincolnshire. You'll now see that centre section move forward. It's actually the wings of the formation moving rearwards. Reds 8 and 9 split left and right to form one of the widest shapes that we fly in 2025. The smoke comes on in the Swan.
Hold it.
You can hear those commands from Red 1. They're almost robotic and monotone in his delivery, and that's because we fly our formation by ear rather than by eye. And that means all the pilots on the outside of the formation are putting their input in just a little bit earlier than those on the inside to make the formation move as one. Reds 8 and 9 collapse to sit behind Reds 2 and 3 to form the shape of one of the most iconic aircraft in aviation history. From the left, the smoke will come on in the Concorde.
Look on, go.
On the left-hand side of that centre stem is Red 3, Flight Lieutenant Andrew McEwen, known as Macca. Macca is in his first year on the team. He flew the Aerobatic, which is a Harrier variant, while on exchange with the United States Marine Corps, before then coming back to the UK and joining 617, the Dambuster Squadron, based at RAF Marham in Norfolk, flying the RAF's latest fifth-generation fighter, the F-35B. You now see Reds 2 and 3 move up the rear section, form the Delta Wing. 2025 celebrates 20 years of the Royal Air Force Typhoon display team. And in celebration of such a prestigious anniversary, from the right, the smoke comes on for Typhoon.
Smoke on, go. Smoke on, go. Roll it. Up. Roll.
At the back of that formation, all the way at the right-hand side, is Red 4, Squadron Leader Chris McCann. He's working extremely hard all the way back there. He's having to look through the formation at Red 1 because we take all our formation references from Red 1 and not necessarily the aircraft on the inside of you in formation. Red 4 Squadron Leader Chris McCann is in his second year on the team. Again, he was taken from training, made into an instructor on the Tucano, before then joining the Tornado GR4 Force, where again he flew as 617, the Dambuster Squadron, and he received an Air Force Cross for his service on operations over Afghanistan. The Royal Air Force is synonymous for its operations in the air. However, we now have a capability in space and cyber. And to represent that capability in the space shape of the Apollo spacecraft, in from the left-hand side, in Apollo.
Holding the back.
11 pilots on the Red Arrows, Reds 1 through 9 performing for you today. Myself, Red 10, former Tornado GR4 pilot, former qualified flying instructor on the Hawk Team Mark II. And this is my fourth and final year on the Red Arrows. We are commanded by Wing Commander Adam Collins, Red 11. He's a former Tornado GR4 pilot, former Red 10, and flew the F-111 while on exchange with the Royal Australian Air Force. Reds 8 and 9 now move left and right. Reds 6 and 7 split at the rear of the main formation. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, get your cameras ready. This is a great, fantastic photo opportunity in from the left for the colourful Big Vixen.
On, go.
In that particular manoeuvre, you may be able to see the aircraft are flying with their air brake out. It's a small door underneath the aeroplane towards the rear. This has twofold effect. The first effect means the pilots fly with a higher throttle setting, thereby producing a hotter engine gas temperature. It makes the smoke colours burn a lot more brightly. In addition, it disturbs the airflow outside the back of the aeroplane and it makes the smoke billow a lot more fuller. And therefore, in certain manoeuvres throughout the show, we'll use this technique to enhance those particular manoeuvres. Once again, you'll see Reds 6 and 7 collapse to sit in behind Red 1. Reds 8 and 9 lengthen to sit behind the main formation for one of the most popular, if not the most popular manoeuvre the Red Arrows fly. In from the right-hand side, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, get your cameras ready. It's tornado time!
Smoke on, go. 8 and 9, roll the...
Reds 8 and 9 roll go as Reds 8 and 9 roll around the smoke of Enid. But watch for the colour change as Red 1 brings them down the line.
A little bit right. Nah. Oh, rolling.
As I said, 11 pilots in the Red Arrows, but the Red Arrows is not just about the pilots. We have a team of over 140 personnel. 120 of them are the engineers, the public relations, the administrators, and they are known as the Blues due to the colour of their blue flying coveralls. And one blue with me today is our senior engineering officer, squadron leader Andy King, who is also a local boy. Reds 8 and 9 now join the rest of the formation, once again forming our world famous Diamond 9. And this will be your lost opportunity to see us in our Diamond 9 before we go into the second half of the show. So once again, in from the left hand side, the smoke comes on. In the Diamond 9, it's the 2025 Red Arrows.
Smoke on, go. Left. Nah. Hold it, Father.
As we go into the second half of the show, we start with the same way we did last year. This is the 5-4 split. In the second half of the show, we operate in two distinct sections. Off to the left-hand side is Reds 1 through 5, known as Enid, from Enid Blyton's famous 5 children's series books. Off to the right, 6, 7, 8 and 9, known as Hannah, named after squadron leader Ray Hannah, one of the first members of the Red Arrows. He's the only team leader to lead the team for 4 years. He took the team from a 7-ship to a 9-ship and formed on world famous Diamond 9. Enid from the left, Hannah from the right for the colourful 5-4 cross. Keep your eye on Enid to the right-hand side as they remain show centre. Red 4 starts to move in to sit behind Red 1. Red 5 sits in trail on the rest of the formation.
Smoke on, go. 5.
Number 5 roll goes. Number 5 rolls around the smoke of Enid. Number 5 is Flight Lieutenant Dustin Wales, known as Dusty. Dusty is in his second year on the team. He's a former Typhoon pilot, former instructor on 29 Squadron, and also a former test pilot with 41 Squadron, all based at RAF Coningsby in Lincolnshire. As Enid leave to our right-hand side, look directly to your front. You're looking for the smoke trails of 6, 7, 8 and 9. For the Hannah break. Red 6 and 8 to our left-hand side, Red 7 and 9 to our right-hand side. Hannah and the synchro pair are led by the synchro leader. That's Red 6 to our left-hand side, smoking white. That's squadron leader Tom Hansford. Tom is in his third and final year on the team. He's a former Typhoon pilot, former qualified weapons instructor on the Typhoon, where he would teach all weapons technical information and tactical information to the entire Typhoon force. Each pair of aircraft will now dive down to only 100 feet over the sea. They've got a closing speed of over 900 miles per hour as they perform the Hannah Pass.
Down, Barry, come on.
So, back off.
Eight and 9 go up and down in the roller coasters as Red 6 and 7 remain flat. synchro pair now turn hard away from each other. Red 6 to our right, Red 7 to our left. Red 7 is Flight Lieutenant George Hobday, second year on the team. He was an instructor on the Tucano before joining the Typhoon Force, where he served on operations over Iraq and Syria with 11 Squadron, as they turn the Hannah Pass into Cyclone. As the synchro pair leave to the rear, look directly to your right hand side and you can see the nose lights twinkling in the distance of Enid. Get down is the call from Red 1 as Enid form an inverted V. Look to the left hand side, you're looking for the aircraft of Red 9. Red 9 travelling at over 500 miles per hour lines up with Enid to perform the Goose. Red 9 is Flight Lieutenant Ollie Suckling. Ollie is in his third year on the team, a former Tornado GR4 pilot, former qualified flying instructor on the Hawk T-Mark II. As Enid leaves to our left-hand side. Look directly to your front and you're looking for the synchro pair once again. The nose light twinkling in the distance over the wind farm. Red 6 pulls up with Red 7 in tango formation. Get your cameras ready. This is the one you do not want to miss. The smoke comes on for the world famous Synchro Heart. Coming in from the top right-hand side is Red 8 as he spears the Heart. Red 8 is Flight Lieutenant Rich Walker, third and final year on the team, an extremely experienced aviator, having flown Harrier and Typhoon, as well as being a qualified flying instructor on the Hawk T-Mark II. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's serve the synchro pair, Red 8, a massive round of applause for a huge, wonderful heart in the skies of Clacton. But the show's not over. The synchro pair now turning back towards the display line once again, down at 100 feet. That closing speed of over 900 miles per hour. Each aircraft will perform a barrel roll. They'll pass in the middle, wingtip to wingtip, only 30 meters. That's 100 feet. Followed by a second barrel roll in a maneuver simply called the double rolls. As the synchro pair complete the double rolls, look to your left-hand side. You've got Enid running back in, joined by Red 9. Number 9 roll goes. Number 9 rolls around the smoke of Enid in the corkscrew. The motto of the Red Arrows is Eclat, and that means excellence, and that means every single member of the team is striving for excellence in everything that they do. Whether you've been on the team 4 days or 4 years, we are striving for excellence, and we like to think that we leave the team in a better place than when we leave the team than when we joined. But keep looking to your left, keep looking to your right. You're looking for Red 6 and Red 7, the synchro pair, as they come back towards the display line. Once again, 100 feet, each aircraft performs a barrel roll, passes in the middle in a maneuver called the Circus. Each aircraft now pulling up to 6G. That means everything about them is weighing 6 times heavier than what you and I are as we stand on the beach here at Clacton. Each aircraft passing at the rear, the red becomes blue, the blue becomes red. Red 7 off to our left-hand side, pulling that 6G, keeping an eye on Red 6 as they complete the circus. Look to your front right, 45. You're looking for Enid running back into the display area. The white smoke comes on.
On, go, and roll.
The red, the white, the blue come on. Red one flies a barrel roll in the sky, leaving a snake-like smoke trail in the sky in a maneuver called the Serpent. Once again demonstrating our famous red, white and blue. That red, white and blue is only capable due to the smoke pod under the belly of the aeroplane. This is capable of producing approximately 5 minutes of white smoke, 1 minute of red smoke and 1 minute of blue smoke, with each of the smoke colours having its own button on the pilot's control column. And during winter training, Red 1 and Red 6 come up with a smoke plan, so we have the right colour smoke at the right time and we simply do not run out in the display. Reds 2, 3, 4 and 5 now moved up, holding 4G, looking 90 degrees along their shoulder line at Red 1, in quite a hard formation manoeuvre to maintain as the smoke comes on in the Tango.
Go.
As Enid leaves to the front left, look to your left, look to your right. You're looking for Red 6 and 9 on the left, Red 7 and 8 from the right. For the first of our new movers for 2025, this is Chainsaw.
Special.
Red 6 and 9 inverted flying for up to 30 seconds. Holding that negative G, all the blood rushing to their head. Conversely, they now roll the correct way up. They turn that negative G to positive G. All the blood from their head is now rushing down to their feet. They're working hard against their G pants while maintaining an eye on Red 7 and 8 to finish off the manoeuvre called the Chainsaw. Look to your left-hand side, and Enid are running back in once again.
2 and 3. Roll. Good.
2 and 3, roll goes. Reds 2 and 3, roll to the outside.
Go.
Clear go as Reds 4 and 5 roll to the outside. In one of the hardest manoeuvres for our new pilots to master each year, this is rollbacks. As Enid leaves to the right-hand side. Look directly to your front. You're looking for Hannah once again running back into the display area. The smoke comes on. Look for the red and the blue from Reds 8 and 9 as they roll around the smoke of Red 6. And hiding in the smoke of Red 6 in the second of our new manoeuvres for 2025. Get your cameras ready. It's Red 7 in the Tempest. Once again, Red 6 off to the left, Red 7 off to the right. The synchro pair will now pull up to approximately 1,000 to 1,500 feet before turning back towards the display line for their final manoeuvre of the show. Each aircraft again, 100 feet, closing speed 900 miles per hour. Each aircraft will perform a barrel roll. They'll pass in the middle wingtip to wingtip 30 meters before rolling inverted to leave the display area in a maneuver simply called the crossbow.
4, go. Roll, go.
As the synchro pair once again leave to our rear, look directly to your front. Enid joined by Reds 8 and 9. Get your cameras ready once again, ladies and gentlemen. It's been an honour and a pleasure. Please put your hands together for the 2025 Royal Air Force Aerobatic team. It's the Red Arrows! Red 1 puts his smoke on. He'll gather the rest of the formation, take them back to RAF Mildenhall in Suffolk. We'll refuel the aeroplane, re-dive the aeroplane, get ourselves ready for displaying once again here at Clacton tomorrow. As I said, it's been an honour and a pleasure to perform once again here in Clacton in 2025. If you'd like any more information about the Red Arrows, of course, we're on social media. We're on Instagram and Facebook, RAF Red Arrows. If you want to follow the pilots, you can follow me, RAF Red 10, and you can pick up the rest of the pilots from my account. Any pictures or videos you have, hashtag Red Arrows, we'll pick them up and share them across social media. As I said, it's been an honour and a pleasure. If you're not here tomorrow, this is my 4th and final year in the Reds. It's been an honour and pleasure to be part of the team and represent the Royal Air Force. I hope you had a wonderful day. Please take care. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Live on BBC Essex, Red 10 Squadron leader Graham Muscat and his excellent commentary of the 2025 Red Arrows.
Well, hello everyone again. It's Luke from Aeroview TV. Just wanted to pop in here just to say a quick thanks to everybody for tuning in. I hope everybody enjoyed today's stream. I know it's a bit different to normal, where we didn't have the official airshow commentary, and for anyone who's been asking, the reason for that is because BBC Radio Essex are providing the commentary for the airshow, and their material is copyrighted, and we don't have permission to restream their radio broadcast, which is why we only had the commentary from Red 10. But I hope you all enjoyed it anyway, regardless. We had lots of engine noise, and hopefully some of the ambient audio, which we wouldn't normally pick up, the crowd clapping and stuff like that. We've got a very close position to the crowd here at this show, so I'm hoping that made a nice difference, considering we haven't got the commentary. So don't forget, we have got more flying today. We're going live again at 17:30, so 19:30, 7:30 BST, which is British Summer Time. So we have about 2 hours from now, and then we're going to have some fantastic night flying, which includes the Fireflies again. They're flying with their pyrotechnics and LED strips. We'll also have Otto the helicopter, and also the P-51D Mustang Moonbeam McSwine. We obviously saw one Mustang earlier today, but this one's a different one. So that will be nice to see, and hopefully some sunset. So hope to see you all later, and I hope you've enjoyed the stream, and thank you for tuning in.